about a year ago, I released an album called Bellow, which was an album primarily focused on the saxophone. We wanted to make a really interesting EP for film trailers that kind of started quite pretty, quite beautiful, and then transitioned throughout the song into something quite horror-esque. It worked really well. We landed a nice trailer called Expats with it, with Nicole Kidman. That was last year. Anyway, I was looking to start writing the second version of this EP and just trying to get some ideas down. However, this is a song that is absolutely not suitable for the album, but it's just where the creativity took me. So the main inspiration was this VST here by Soundpaint. Specifically, it's called Hybrid Cinema Spice Drums here. One of the first patches that I loaded up was these little drum rolls that I found really interesting. Again, these are all synthetic sounds, but I think the whole point behind this VST is to create organic sounding drums purely using synths, and so it's resulted in this really weird kind of outer-worldly drum percussion VST. So this is my first point of inspiration. I believe that this is just the same rhythm. I think it's just down an octave. It's a bit lazy. Yeah. Okay, great. This was layered with just some atmospheres, just to give it like an anchor note. Again, just some more percussive sounds coming through here. For that big kick that's being used, that kind of 808 sound, this is by Slate and Ash here. And it's called Choreographs. The preset's called Ingrained. And there's quite a lot of processing done to this. Let me just mute that. So the first thing that was done, effect rack, Devil Lock, and some decapitator, some saturation. Second thing, an EQ that's doing nothing. And then a UAD Portec, just with a bass preset. Sounds great. I have zero idea what this track is going to be used for, if it's going to be used for anything at all. I think it's a shame that if I just leave this, but yeah, I'm a bit unsure of it. It's literally just, something that just kind of flew out. So I'm yet to find a purpose for it. I think it would be great. I love kind of pop music as well. I love beats, as they call it, a really good beat. I don't tend to write a lot of stuff like that, but I'd love to, get singers on, maybe a rap artist on something like this. But yeah, or maybe it would be good for trailers. Who knows? This sound here. It's a really interesting sound. I really try and create something that is really ear catching, you know, that you can't quite put your finger on what it is. So this is just my voice. Let me take all that. There's quite a lot of processing on that as well. These have been pitched really high up, so 24, I remember that. So it's roughly, it's going to sound like this. So that's where the sound came from. It was time stretched as well, so this is a lot faster than it was. But it's just me making a vocal noise. Sounds crazy. But yeah, and then pitched 2 octaves high. They shouldn't both be, yeah. So one of them is 2 octaves high, one of them's only 20 notes high. And these are panned hard left and hard right. And also, you'll notice that the track delay is different. So this one's at 0, so it's straight on the note. This one's a little bit ahead. And that's to create some nice width. Then there's a lot of processing on here. We've just got some EQ, some trash distortion. It's running for a cheap radio. Little altar boy. Some pitch there. Compressor. Some more saturation. What's this one doing? Yeah. More compression. There we go. So I think this sound, yeah, it's coming from a lot of the distortion through the Devil Lock on that one. This is an interesting VST here to create this. Wormhole. It's really CPU heavy, so you need to be careful when you use it. I think I'm just using it as a reverb at the minute. It actually does a hell of a lot more. It's not just a reverb plugin. It's really great for making some really surreal monster sounds, and it really messes up your audio in a good kind of creative way. A gate here, and then soothe. They say to use soothe right at the start of the chain, the insert chain, but it worked pretty cool at the end. You know, it does what it needs to. There you go. And then so that's just a little snippet of the sound where it comes in. And then the full kind of vocal melody was introduced in. So you can really hear what kind of vocal sounds I was creating here. There was a little bit of editing I'd done, and whenever I make any type of vocal noise, I'm usually out of tune, so quite a lot of tuning was made there. There's 2 phrases here. There's the first one and the second one. Whenever I write something musical, I always use what's called questions and answers. If you imagine the first phrase here is asking the question, and then the second is giving the answer. And I do that a lot of times. Anything melodic that I write, I'll usually work in that kind of way. I've also got these synths here. Which I believe is coming from here. Another slight notch, yeah. There you go. Again, just some really, I think all this is just, you know, me throwing colors on the computer, you know, just trying to create some weird sounds, some interesting sounds. As you can see, there's a lot of stuff that I was using here that I've, you know, gotten rid of. Not deleted, but I've gotten rid of because I'm just throwing, I mean, what's this? What's this organ sax doing? you know. I'm just throwing ideas. You know, wasn't quite doing it. Adding this kind of melodic melody. Sorry, that's just so. This is all it is. Again, I'm really not sure what this is going to be used for, but I thought it was quite an interesting idea. And if anyone has any, ideas of what I should do with this, because I think it's got a really cool beat. I think it's quite interesting. Yeah, let me know.